And I walked up to you and said, how are you making threes? And you're not gonna be like, I don't know, I just shoot the ball. You're gonna tell me what you practice, what you eat, which finger leaves the ball last, how you grab the ball by the grips or on the opposite side, or whatever like that. You're gonna know, okay, do you like chest passes, bounce passes over the head? You're gonna tell me everything. So I need you to actually sit down and tell me, how are you going viral?
We are live, my friend.
My guy. I need to build some intro music into my soundboard or something.
I know, right? Where is that when you need it? Gosh,
next time
we got to bring this. We got to bring this elevation up for LCA. But what's going on at LCA? Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to another incredible webinar. I cannot wait to dive into this detail with the man, the myth, the legend. Zach, thank you so much for taking the time. We've got a huge topic today. You are the master of disaster when it comes down to this, but the formula for going viral. So we're going to hit some crazy points and you're going to drop some bombs, Zach. So I just cannot wait. But thank you so much for taking the time, my friend. It's an honor.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys for having me. Really appreciate it.
This is great. So I guess we'll just wait a couple of minutes here just for everybody to jump in real quick.
Yeah. You want me to get the boring intro out of the way first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's do that, man. So Zach, seriously, anybody who has been living under a rock and doesn't know who you are, why don't we let them know kind of who you are, what you're about, and that sort of thing before we dive into the main topics.
100%, man. So if you guys don't know me, I'm a professional idiot. My name is Zachary Loft. Birth given name Zachary Faust, but people didn't know how to spell Faust, and it's German for fist, so it's not really a nice last name. Loft is our brokerage name, so I just combined the two because I'm lazy. So when I was 17 years old, joined the Army, got out when I was 23, had deployed, did all that shit, and hated it. Naturally, I thought Department of Corrections was a nice little transition into there. In between that, I installed surround sound systems, lights on police cars, got fired for both. On the termination for the lights being installed on police vehicles, I was fired because I lacked energy and passion. Real story.
Insane.
And I wish I kept it and framed it, but I didn't know. And then from there, joined the Department of Corrections because I have the personality of a prison guard. And was bullied by my old elementary school teacher to become a realtor like she was. Denied her 3 times until she signed me up for it at 10:30 at night, right before I went into my shift. Became a realtor, and then I quit my job a month into being a realtor and having 1 deal under contract because I thought it was Superman, and I listened to a Tony Robbins podcast and I got super motivated. And yeah, ended up having the worst 6 financial months of my life. Got to know the person who shut off my electricity very well. His name was Jose, and he had 2 kids. He loved them all together with his wife as well. So great family guy. Wow. And then won Rookie of the Year, 27 deals closed. And now I'm the team leader of the Loft team, hosted by Loft Realty, which we are the owner of. And this year we'll close 257 deals.
That is an insane intro, my friend. And so Milford, Delaware, is that right?
Yes, Milford, Delaware.
Yeah. So just so everybody knows, this man is from Delaware, which is insane. And again, that's what I love about LabCoatAgents is just the reach and so many different personalities and professionals from all over the world. And so we appreciate you gracing us with your presence, my friend. But I guess without further ado, the main topic, once again, the formula for going viral. So Zach, you just kind of go with it, man. I'll be monitoring the questions. So anybody who's tuned in here, we got a lot of people jumping in. If you got any questions, put them in the comments. I'll definitely try to gingerly interrupt Zach when it's the right time.
No, slap me in the face. I need it sometimes, often.
Good man. But yeah, let's just dive into it, my friend. This is your show. So where do you want to go?
I love it. No, I'm your Vanna White. I appreciate you guys letting me be on it. So I want to talk about the formula for going viral and what I've come to kind of become the scientist of for real estate. Accidentally became a creator on TikTok, which now I have 1.65 million followers on. Really pushing to the 1.7. Their formulas and algorithms have changed so much, it's harder to get followers. But, growing on there, I'm the #1 followed individual realtor on the planet, which is really weird. And I've had videos get 10, 15, 20 million views on there. And so I was actually asked a question about 7 months ago by a person I respected highly. He said, "Hey, how are you doing that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just make videos." And they're like, no. Like if you were making tons of threes in an NBA game, like you're Steph Curry, right? And I walked up to you and said, how are you making threes? And you're not gonna be like, I don't know, I just shoot the ball. You're going to tell me what you practice, what you eat, which finger leaves the ball last, how you grab the ball by the grips or on the opposite side or, whatever like that. You're going to know, okay, do you like chest passes, bounce passes over the head? You're going to tell me everything. So I need you to actually sit down and tell me, how are you going viral? And I had no fucking clue. I'm sorry. Am I allowed to curse?
You're good, man. You're good.
I am now. So the thing I did is I sat down, I started watching my old videos, and I watched hundreds of them. Now, one thing that people need to understand, I hate watching my own videos. I really, really don't like it. One of the best parts of getting an editor was I no longer had to edit my own videos.
Good man.
Everyone hates their own voice. Everyone hates the way they look because it's mirrored. They hate their own voice because they're hearing their diaphragm when they say it and they're not hearing it on video. So the big thing I found was I was able to deduct it down to a step-by-step formula of I do this every single time. Now, are there different variations? Yes. Are there times where I have different subjects to kind of have one or two extra things or one or two less? Yes. But at the end of the day, this method, which I've deemed the thirst method, is how I have found to be like basically my rock, what I go back to. Okay. And as I went deeper into it, dude, it wasn't just videos. I was posting statuses like that. I was going and having conversations like that. I was speaking on stage like that. And once I start going into it, you're gonna be like, a lot of popular videos I watch do this exact thing. Wow. So without further ado, I'll go into it. I'm gonna speed by it and then I'm gonna go through each one. So don't feel like you got to speed run it down. So it's the thirst method. I sometimes know how to spell it, so I'll do my best, but it's title, hook, interest, reframe, or like retell, storytell, target. Wow. And this is like these 6. If you just do these 6, and you can do this in your scripts with your clients, you can do this in your trainings with your agents, and you can do this in your videos on short form or long form, it is going to improve not only your watch time, but the amount of people who come back to watch your content and the amount of people that are going to stop the thumb and say, and watch the video, which I go deeper too into my courses and my coaching on how you can utilize just that. Hey, I watched for even 3 seconds, that we can retarget them so they watch again and watch again. Slowly but surely we build that brand, which we'll talk about too. Title, easy. Think of the headline on a news article. Sure. Headline on a news article, right? It's supposed to drag you in. Is it going to give all the information? No, but it is going to pull out the most pertinent part that it feels, okay, we know who our ideal demographic is. We know what we have as a story. What title can we give from the story to align with the demographic we want? Think of CNN and Fox. We don't have to talk politics, but they both create titles that go toward the demographic they know that they're going to get. Sure. Right? Yep. So we need to create titles, and that can be the caption at the beginning of a video on a reel or a TikTok. Could be the description down low. It could be a thumbnail for a YouTube video or the actual title in it. Could be the title of a live, or hell, the formula for going viral is the title for this. Right. It has to be something that for the ideal demographic of us aligns with something that they want to achieve or know about. All right. So if we had a podcast, for example, or seminar, webinar, whatever we're calling this, and it was to farmers and we named it the formula for going viral. We're like, the hell do I care? Why? Tell me how to farm more. I don't know what they do. I need more crops. Come on, my crops. Get me on farmers only, baby. Come on. So that's awesome. So it's all about knowing the ideal demographic. So having that title that aligns with that person is going to be the best. Now, I want to clarify one thing, because 89.6%, and that's an exact fact, of the people who heard that thought, okay, I need to make it real estate related. No. Ooh, good point. You're not looking to find a specific person based off their real estate situation. You're trying to find the 20% of people out there that will align with you as a human. Love that. All right. I'm going to say that again. The 20% of people out there that will align with you as a human. Every psychological study says there's 5 personalities. All right. And like attracts like, which means there's 20% of people out there that will like you. And guess what? People do business with people that they like. Right. So we got to find them. And short form video is an amazing way to do that. Huge. Number 2, hook. Any questions about title? Did I go over everything great? No, I think that was great. I mean, you really covered it. And I love the fact that you were speaking directly to your audience. And again, just as a reminder for everybody in here, I mean, Zach, you are in the profession. You're a true practitioner in the field. Not only do you train and coach and have courses, but you do this every day. And, you know, there's a lot of times where people go on, you know, different tangents through education,
with not really knowing the demographic of who their audience is. And the fact of the matter is you're in the business. So I love that. Correct. But yes, you covered it totally. 100%.
In production, team leader, 100% still out there. So, and I love it. We got a listing appointment later today. So still my favorite thing to do.
Good man.
So hook. We've heard the hook used before. This is like when you think clickbait, like something that's going to get you to stay, something that's going to get you to stop, something that's going to get your brain to actually go out of subconscious into conscious, something that drags out. For example, a hook could be, and I recently got to see her speak, Mel Robbins talks about the countdown rule, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's like a subconscious to conscious hook. It gets you out of the subconscious habits and get you into conscious thinking to start paying attention to what you actually want and actually need in that exact moment. And so it pulls you out of the habitual state that you're in or the cycle, breaks it, and allows you to create a new one. So what we're looking to do is do that on a social media scape at scale. Right. And I know that was a lot of fancy words. What it means is we need to get people to stop moving their thumb. Right. When they get to our post, we want them watching that, reading that, looking into that. So the hook is our first 2 to 3 seconds.
Okay.
It's our first 2 to 3 seconds of the video or the first 2 to 3 seconds of view time. Because it doesn't always have to be a video. It could be the caption. It could be the photo. It could be, if you guys don't know the carousel feature on Instagram, I use the hell out of that. I think my last post was a carousel because guess what? TOP, time on post, is one of the most measured things on all social media platforms. It's what determines, hey, does this person like this video or not? They like this post or not? Well, they spent like 2.5 minutes on it. They must have liked it. That's what they measure off of. So TOP, time on post. So those first 2 to 3 seconds to get them to stop is the only thing that's going to give us a chance to lock them in for that time on post.
Wow.
So
perfect.
This can be a multitude of things.
Yeah.
On TikTok, a great hook that you can utilize is the voiceover feature or the voice to text feature to say something that is going to make them think, huh? Or grab their attention in some way, shape, or form. If we want to talk specifically real estate, one of my most viral TikToks was me saying, here's how to buy a home before your parents did. Guess what? I know the ideal demographic on there for myself also matches the ideal demographic for TikTok. It's at 29 to 32. No, it's not 14 to 17. That is a myth. All right. It's not that. I don't dance on there often. It's not that type of place. So I know who I'm going after. I've also made other ones that say why you shouldn't sell your home with a realtor. I've made, here's why you should never buy a home.
Wow.
And those are topics and hooks that make people think, especially if they know who I am. They're like, why would you not want me to sell my home with you? Like, that's dumb.
Why is he saying that? Yeah.
Yeah. So I go into the 5 reasons of, okay, so yeah, you got to actually have your Facebook set up so you can make this post, this post, this post. Here's a list of photographers you can use, videographers you can use. Make sure you direct them to do this, 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 and this. Description needs to have these kind of keywords, should be formatted like this to keep people's attention. Make sure the photos are in this order because that scientifically is the best way to get their attention. And then you have to qualify them, walk them through the property, make sure your personal safety is, not at risk because it's random people walking through your house that you don't know without a professional. Then you're going to have to look over offers, blah, blah, blah. And went through this whole list. And at the very end, I'm like, or you could just pay me 6% and I'll do it. And it was the most viewed ad we ever had. And we got several listings out of it. And people still talk to us about it. We made that 3 years ago. We're actually revamping it and redoing it at the end of this year.
Love that.
So, but that's a hook.
Right.
Love it. That is a hook. One hook that I had was when I deployed and I had a video where I told a story about the deployment. And I remember I was sitting around a bonfire and we saw a light go up in the air. And when that light goes up in the air, we knew exactly what it was. It's an RPG. As soon as it hits the peak, it goes, whoa, like almost quicker than light. You can't move. Like once you know where it's going, it's too late. It's going there. So it goes about 2 miles in 2 seconds. And we're all sitting up there and we watch the light go up and then it's coming toward us. And so and then ends up swerving around because they suck. Their weapons are terrible. And it hit the gym, blew up the gym. And so the title of that video was Scariest Time I Had in Afghanistan. And then my hook was, we had a missile nearly blow us up, but I kind of wish it did.
There you go. Wow.
And so people obviously are going to watch it like, yo, why does this man is suicidal? Does he talk? I'm like, no, it's just, we didn't have a gym anymore. It was terrible. Wow. We had to do push-ups and run. No one wants to do that.
Who's doing that? Come on.
No, I want to lift stuff up that's heavy and put it down, or all testosterone-filled dudes working out twice a day eating 5,000 calories. Like, of course we want a gym.
That's awesome.
But that's an example of a hook.
Yes. Yeah.
So any questions around the hook side of things? And if there's any Q&A
Yeah.
popping up, I'd love to take it as we go.
No, Zach. So this is great. And you're really breaking this down very systematically for everybody to just take in and consider for their business and growth. And I love that you use real estate examples, because I think that that's where people's minds are going to gravitate towards. But I love that you use a real world example into your life. And the fact of the matter is that 20 percentile is what you discussed earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
That 20% of getting to like, I mean, it's that old adage, getting to know, like, and trust,
Yep.
right? That's who we work with. So sharing, what's your perspective on, anybody who's tuning into this, as far as the first two parts in that content stent? Do you have a particular ratio that you would give across as personal life versus business life at all?
So the old rule is 80-20. I say it's 95-5. I say it's 95-5. And when I go through my content, I really fit that ratio. I don't sit there and think, oh, this is a 20th video, it's got to be real estate. But when I go through, that's what it ends up being.
Okay.
Because people want to work with people. And let me tell you guys right now, anyone listening, look me in the eyes. If you're listening to me in your phone or whatever, look at me in the eyes. We all know the greatest clients in the world are the ones that simply DM us or call us and say, I need you to list my house. Mm-hmm. They're the easiest ones to work with. They already know who we are. They say, what's going to be the price of the house? Okay, you're the professional. What do you charge? Okay, that makes sense. Sign. And boom, it's the easiest transaction ever. Wow. And that can be done at scale if we're scaling who we are, because we're going to find more of the 20. Now, before we get to the next point, here's what scares people about finding their 20 is when you find that 20, you're going to find the other 20. You're going to find the 20% of people who dislike you, who do not like you, who do not want to work with you. And that scares people. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't find this 20, you'll never find this 20. You will not find the people that like you unless you're also finding people that dislike you. That's life. Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Going deeper on the polarizing side of things, which I agree, be as polarizing as you can, staying away from things like politics and, heated debates and stuff like that. But I go as deep as find your 5. Find the 5% of people that if you said, hey, my movers got canceled, I need 20 bodies for some pizza and some beer, and boom, you got 40.
Wow.
But you're also going to find the people who will make fake Gmail accounts to leave you 1-star reviews that never met you.
Yeah.
I speak from experience. So the more polarizing you are, the better clients you're going to find. The more like we have people that move in from Louisiana, like, we want to work with Loft. They're like, how do you know us? We know you from social media.
It's awesome.
And boom. And we'll get invited to house parties, invited to weddings. Like we're in a people business. So why aren't we showing who we are as a person?
Wow. Just that alone, Zach, is insane for anybody who hasn't, really put that thought process into perspective. And, it's easy for someone as yourself who's been there and really experienced both sides of it. But I get it. It can be scary for somebody who's not used to feeling the hate or the light on themselves. But I love that fact, what you mentioned. It's really addressing the people who love you and want everything, but nothing but success is for you. You're going to have that double edge, right? The light and the dark, right? The positive, the negative. And I love the fact that you drill that down, my friend. I think that I know there's somebody on here that needed to hear that.
I'm happy for it. And one of the other stark facts is going to be the people who end up loving you are sometimes people that you've never met. And the people who end up speaking the most venom about you are some of the people you thought you knew the best.
You're just bringing the heat.
I'm just saying, you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared for both sides of the fight. But let's move on
I love it.
Interest.
Yep.
All right. Interest. If we have a great title and a great hook and we bring no interesting content, that is clickbait. That is worthless. That is where you get labeled salesy, greasy, disgusting, commission breath. That's when you get labeled all that.
Wow.
So interest, we have to actually bring content within what we're saying. If I say, here are the 5 reasons you shouldn't use a realtor, and then I go into, well, because they charge 6 and I charge 5, like none of that. Get out of here, Sandra. Like, you got to bring real content around what this title and hook is. It's not just about creating clickbait.
Right.
I deal with a lot of, we go through Google Analytics and I measure how many people are going to their website versus bouncing and things like that. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I get 10,000 people to the website I'm sorry, Sandra.
Yeah. You didn't mean it like that. I got
I love
you.
it. I love Sandra. Connect with me on IG. By the way, my handle is Zachary Lofts Instagram. If anyone has questions, please DM me.
Yes.
But that's funny. Took me way off track. But if we're not bringing the actual value behind it, we're labeled as that salesy, greasy, we're not bringing any true value. And you're going to have the opposite effect happen where people don't want to watch your content at all. So we have to be interesting. And it's very easy to be interesting if you're talking about things that only you or your lifestyle has had the experience to be a part of. And let me break that down a little bit more. I was military. I still have my veterans card, so I still go on base and work out and play ball every now and then. Golfed on there the other day. But I remember when I was 18 years old and I was driving my boy, just got back from basic training. I said, let's go play ball. Brought him on. He had never been on base. I've been going on and off for about year and a half now. So when I flashed the ID, went on, blah, 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 he's just kind of sitting there. He said, man, this is cool. I said, what? He said, I'm on a military base. This is cool. I'm like, there's nothing exciting about this place at all. Just got a decent basketball court. But it wasn't a lesson that I really kind of took to fruition for a long time. And now I've been using that on TikTok, talking about, stories I have from working in a prison and stories I have from going to Afghanistan. Is people want to hear about things they'll never experience. Your thoughts, your memories, your stories, your experiences, the crazy clients, the crazy deals. They want to know. There's a reason HGTV has 306,000 different shows about buying and selling homes, because people want to know. And you can be the local celebrity, your own local HGTV, that's showing people, hey, here's my awesome lifestyle. And guess what? No one on HGTV that's buying and selling homes as a star of the show doesn't have a really awesome, authentic personality.
Well said.
You have to have personality. You have to be rocking it. And you don't have to be Ellen. You don't have to be a legend. You just have to be who you are. Whatever you did to gain the friends you have in your life, whether you have 2 or 200, there's more people out there that would be your friends if they saw your personality.
Well said.
All right. So reframe or retell. Yeah. This is when we backtrack. So if I was to say, like, for the example of, here's why you shouldn't use a realtor, that was my headline. And then also my hook, or my title and then my hook. The interest would be, I've dealt with so many different sellers who don't want to list with a real estate agent. And so I went ahead and told them the exact list of how they can do it.
Wow.
And now, boom, I've built the interest, but now I'm going to reframe. I'm going to pull it back. I'm going to start from the beginning and then go through the list before I end.
Perfect.
All right. So with with the missile coming at us, like I would say that, we're sitting around the campfire, blah, blah, blah. And the interest kind of gets marked in with the storytell, the S. Those kind of go together. It's like instead of IS. But you got to storytell. Line a joke in there. Say something off the wall in there. I love to, especially on TikTok, because for a while you couldn't like scroll the video. You had to just watch it all the way through. I would love to, and I'm scared of giving the example on here, but I would just say something off the wall. That like, it would just be like, boom, like, what do you say? Like, it'd be like, I love tacos, I love burgers, I love worms, and I also love corn, and blah, blah, blah. And I'll go through, like,
you just throw it in.
Fucker just say worm? Like, and then they'll go back and watch it to just to make sure, did I hear that right? TOP, time on post. And that little stuff can really, really help.
Love that.
But storytelling. Storytelling is the most important part of the Thirst method. And in my opinion, in sales, the most important skill you can have.
Well said.
Because if you can't storytell, if you can't elicit emotion, which is what people buy and sell off of and decide who they work off of based on, you're not going to win. Because there are better storytellers out there. There are people out there that don't look nearly as good as you, don't sound nearly as good as you, don't have nearly the experience, the sales, or the business repertoire that you have. They can simply bring together a better story.
Right.
I mean, I remember, linking with a guy who's very popular in the real estate industry. He told me a story about a guy who literally pitched him on a business. He didn't give him barely the name of the company or what they even did. He just told me a story for like 5 minutes. And dude, I was in.
Wow.
I didn't even know the metrics. I was ready to look at the business plan and sign the dotted line. And it was because he was a great storyteller. So you have to ingrain that into what you do. And that comes from, certain tactics that, Chris Voss talks about in, Never Split the Difference. It's different methods that come from How to Win Friends and Influence People, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, 48 Laws of Power. Like, there's so many different methods and psychologies and little nuances, like NLPs, neuro-linguistic programmers, on like through mirroring and both physical and, all that. This is a whole different subject, but learn how to storytell.
Yeah.
Learn what makes people tick, learn what makes people want to listen, learn what makes people want to talk, and you'll win. And lastly, target. Everyone thinks this is the phone number on the screen. Text me, call me. It doesn't have to be that. The target of the entire video could be to get them to laugh at the end. Wow. The target of the entire video could get them to go watch part 2. to follow you, to follow somebody else,
Hmm.
to engage with a new part of your personality, to view a different part of your life, to expand your horizon, to announce something. Like, it doesn't have to be my call to action. And make sure you remember me when you come to Delaware to buy or sell a home. Right after I got done telling a story about some dude that snuck peanut butter into a jail cell. Like, what? Kind of weird.
What is that?
Exactly. They don't match at all.
Right.
So the content of the video has to match the content of the call.
Hmm.
Whatever that call to action at the end has to match what you were doing. If I was talking about buying and selling real estate, of course, I'm going to give someone the ability to possibly contact me if they're interested.
Sure.
So, and just to bring some credence to it as I finish off this specific subject and we get more into some Q&A, I've given out 112 referrals in 2.5 years on TikTok, but really 2 years of kind of like the viral videos and knowing what I was doing. So there's a lot of money to be made in that 5% of actual real estate content. If you guys have ever read jab, 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 right hook, it's get in their face, get in their face, get in their face, boom, out of nowhere, the sale. And that's a real boxing metaphor. He doesn't even mention it in the book. Love Gary Vee, but come on. I love boxing. And the jab is meant to simply blind the opponent. It's never meant to do damage.
Sure.
It's never meant to knock the dude out or get the sale. It's meant to, boom, I'm in your face. Boom, I'm in your face. And if I'm here, you don't see that coming.
Right.
If you learn my personality, my family, what type of wine I like, how bad a golfer I am, how much I'm concerned about my haircut, that I love watches, that I hate the open water, that I despise musicals, but I love the Titanic. Like, if you know all this stuff, it's a lot easier for me to say, by the way, we're actually doing a % off of listing if you're military. Oh, man, I love this guy. Now I can work on him for cheaper. This is awesome. It's a lot easier to land the hook when you've been jabbing and straighting and just right here, just keeping it right here, staying in your face, staying in your face, bop. And it works a lot easier. I know it's an aggressive, violent example, but it makes sense.
I love it.
So be sure that you guys are making that content that showcases who you are. Fall into the swimming pool, roller skate like Taya DeCarlo, tell stories like Glenda Baker, make memes out of the mortgage world like the mortgage guy, or hell, the broke agent called me right before him. Be like Eric, kind of. Yeah. But
big shout out to Eric.
Love you, Eric. Go follow the broke agent. So Sandra, I know that Sandra's gonna be on me the whole time. I love it, Sandra. I love that. So, but yeah, I mean, that's how you become the local celebrity in your area. You showcase who you are and you let people begin to have a B to A relationship with you. And to explain that, that's fangirling. That's when you see Justin Timberlake in public and you're like, oh my God, it's Justin Timberlake. Guess what? You're insanely excited. He doesn't know who you are. It's a B to A relationship. It's the same exact thing that happens when you see Tom Ferry speak in person. It's like, oh my God, I've seen all of his videos. He follows me around the internet, listen to all of his podcasts. I see him in person. It's amazing. Guess what? He's still a human. Same blood, same oxygen required, same amount of food and water's intake to keep him alive. He's a dude. Love him. Yeah. Smart dude, awesome guy, but a dude. The same thing can happen to us in our own local level. Who are approached at the gym like, bro, I know you don't know me. I see you everywhere. And I just want you to know, if I sell my house, even though I love the area, I'm listing it with you. Cool. And then he'll walk off. So that is the formula. I don't know why I kind of got French there, but regardless.
well, I like where you're going with that, Zach. And again, you're the way that you deliver your information is incredible, and you can really feel and hear the passion that's coming out of you. And to the storytelling note that you had mentioned, I guess I can't stress that enough to anybody out there. What you're saying is huge information. And as you were talking about that story in Afghanistan, it immediately pulled me in. And I wanted to hear more. And I think that you can really focus on the things that you're saying on a regular basis, and whether it's physically or digitally, and always look at, if you heard something like that, would you be interested in it? Yep. Would you be pulled in? Would you want more? Or would it turn you off? And I find that there's a big disconnect with a lot of people out there when it comes to digital aspects, that, if you're not going to say it physically to a group of your friends, family, or a client, or something that's a topic of interest, why would you put it online? It's bizarre.
The personal example can be looked back on in so many different ways. For example, this is always one of the points I get at when I speak on stage is I'll point a random person out in the audience, normally a dude, and I'll say, hey man, you're a good looking dude. If me and you are at the bar, we're both single. I'm clearly not. But, if we're both single and I walk up to you and I'm like, hey, man, saw you sitting there by yourself. Was wondering, my parents are outside. Do you want to meet them? That man would look at me like I have 3 toads sitting on my head and say, please get away from me. You're creeping me out.
That's awesome.
But yet we're completely cool with walking up to a stranger and handing them our business card. We're making a post on Facebook saying, buy or sell with me. I'm the best in the area. I won't say Sandra this time. Jason, I'm Jason. Tell your homie Jason.
I don't think there's a Jason on here right now.
Yeah, if there's a Jason there, sorry, Mr. Pantana. But like whatever it is, like I don't understand why we don't get that in the business world. In the personal world, we get it. Not everyone's gonna want to be our friend.
Yeah.
So cool. Find the people you don't like. It's going to help you get to the people you do like. Not everybody's someone we want to date. So why not be ourselves authentically so the people that do match with us and do vibe with us come this way, and the people that don't, the poison, the toxic, go that way.
Right.
Why are we doing that in business? It's the same thing. We're still back to the first example of like Tom and Gary and Justin Timberlake. They're people. We're still people, and we're in a face-facing brand world where our face, our voice is going to be the brand. Be who you are and attract people who are going to be like-minded, like-vibed, and your vibe will attract your tribe.
Huge. I mean, absolute gold that you're leaving with everybody out here in LCA. And I do want to mention back to the framework of, coaching and mentoring and just so much of your knowledge. I mean, everybody out there, this is just a fraction of what this man knows and what this man does. It's condensed in a tiny bit of time. And we've only been going 30 minutes. And I think that there's so much out there. So Zach, I do know that you have a coach and a course when it comes down to it, I should say. And we were talking before we went live, but it has to do with Instagram.
Yes.
Would you mind sharing a little bit about just your course and what people can do to get a hold of you a little bit more and learn more?
Yep. I'll quickly run through it so we get some awesome Q&A. Message should be in, or the link should be in. It's Loft Level Instagram Dominance. I had a debate with Tristan. He wanted me to give it for free. I said, no, I can't do that. It's normally $259. I did give it $200 off. So the link actually already has that built in. So if you click on it, it'll only be $59. It's about 2.5 to 3 hours worth of Instagram knowledge. It's everything I give my coaching clients. It's everything I do in my group coaching, which we do group coaching as well once a month. And if you go through that link and get the course, you actually get the group coaching for $200 off too.
Huge.
So, and that's an hour, 8 to 9. I got my glass of wine, highly suggest chilling, relaxing. And we just chatted up about social media and marketing. But the course is specifically on how to build up the profile so it's ready for you to create content, because so many people put the cart before the horse. They try to start making videos, but their profile sucks. Getting the profile ready to go, ready to get that first impression locked in. We've all heard drop rates on websites. What about your drop rate on your Instagram profile? We need to make sure that's as low as possible. Talking about analytics, different tactics, stories, reels, IGTV, long form, short form, taking one piece of content, turning into 55. Like there's a lot of different things on there that of course we can't go through in just this, even with those cool cars in the background. I'd love to just sit and look at them. But yeah, so the link's in there. I'm not taking coaching clients right now. I am maxed out. I only take 30. I will only take 30 one-on-one clients. We meet once a week with every single one of them individually. But I only take 30. If I have someone drop, the way to get on the waiting list is to just DM me on Instagram at Zachary Loft. And the next time something opens, you'll be the first person I message.
That's huge stuff. And again, as Zach mentioned, it is in, the links are in the chat here. And then I think, Sandra will be able to put that out to anybody on the list. Just in case they miss it, or just DM this man. I mean, I would highly recommend, regardless, no matter who's on this or what's going on or watching this later after the fact, you got to follow this man. I mean, it is, I'm inspired, Zach, just with your energy. And again, the knowledge that you're dropping, this is game changing for people who really, I just can't explain to anybody out there how important this is to implement and really live on a daily basis. And you had mentioned it again, all the referrals over the past 2 years that you were able to give out. I mean, this is not just to be known and to be celebritized. This is for, financial gain, for bringing in revenue, for helping more families, really just expanding that growth. I mean, that's huge stuff. When it comes down to it, Zach. So we've got a couple minutes left. I've been monitoring. I think you're just explaining everything too well, my friend, because I'm not seeing any direct live Q&As onto here. We got plenty of people on. So anybody, if there is a question for this man, you've got an opportunity to pick this man's brain right now. But Zach, any other thoughts? I mean, as we're kind of waiting to wrap,
I want to hit that one thing you just said. So I am currently, little plug, it'll be released in December. Yeah, I'm finishing up my book, which will be on marketing.
Killer.
So I haven't released a title or anything like that, but I'll be releasing soon. I'm really excited about it. It's very different. I'm writing the way that I speak. So it's going to be very off kilter and different and quick paced. So it's going to be a lot different from most books. It's going to be a coloring book. No, but but one thing I want to hit on that you mentioned about financial gain, the word ROI and branding do not go together. We need to stop thinking about that. When it comes to lives and stories and videos and content and pictures, we need to stop assigning the word ROI, return on investment, to every single thing we do in this business. Because guess what? You're going to be pushed down. You're going to get negative thoughts. You're going to be like, oh, I'm wasting this time and money. No, you're building your brand. You're building your audience. And that's why I want you to shift your thinking to ROA, return on audience. How many people can you get in front of consistently? How many people could you get a message out and boom, done? I have 1.6 million followers on TikTok. If I put out a video asking for something, I'm going to have a large outreach. That's how I found one of my editors. It's how I found one of my ISAs. It's how I found agents. It's how I found clients. Wow. Boom, just done. I put out stuff for other people. Like, hey, my guy's at 6,000 followers on Instagram. Can we get him to the 10K mark so we can get the swipe up feature? And boom, he has 12,000 followers. Like having that is awesome. It's amazing to have that. Like when I streamed on Twitch, I didn't have to grow my Twitch. I just said, hey, I'm on Twitch, and I had 400 viewers. Like,
that's insane.
Cool. And I suck at video games. So just having an audience is the return, not just financially, but like inside, like knowing you're leaving a legacy, knowing you're having an act. Like I hate the word influencer. I like being an impactor, having an impact on people's lives, literally knowing people. I met somebody at the Boomtown event. I spoke out in South Carolina. A woman walked up to me and said, hey, I'm kind of nervous to talk to you. I was like, no, what's up? Like, I'm chill. What's up? And she's like, a year ago, I became a real estate agent, and I've had, the greatest year of my life. And I was in the rat race and wasn't doing a crazy amount. Now I'm a real estate with this awesome team. And I became a realtor because of you. And I was like, I wanted to cry. I was like, this is awesome. Like, and that's so much more important, at least to me, and I think to everybody at the root level of being a human, on what return are you leaving on this world? How impactful can your audience be? Like, if Nike started making wine tomorrow, they'd sell 1 million cases before the weekend because they have the audience that's going to do whatever Nike says. They have no right to sell wine, but they do. So just as an example to kind of wrap the mind, but just stop associating money and dollars and cents with everything. I know we're in business, but think about in 2 to 3 years, how much of a real audience of people that know, like, and trust me do I want to grow from these platforms, and how can I do it?
Wow. Well said. I mean, and that example, basing it off of Nike, it really is a level of impact. And I love the fact that you shifted it from influence to impact, because you're making a difference in people's lives, and especially into the real estate world. That's a huge thing. What's going on, buyers, sellers, and family changes and lifestyle changes. But you're really making a difference by providing just inspiration and motivation and content and really just storytelling and having communicative relationships. I mean, that's what the world's all about. And you're doing that every single day, Zach, which is insane. And you're taking it to the highest level. I love the fact that you mentioned, hey, just plug somebody on Instagram. Let's get those numbers up. Hey, if you're ever needing a transplant, Zach, I'm always a guy that needs more numbers. So, we'll
have to talk afterwards.
All day long. You'll probably get a bunch of DMs. Hey, Zach, help me out. But no, I think that this is just incredible information, my friend. And again, you're just a true practitioner in your field and what you do. And again, I know that there's going to be so many people that are just going to be tuning into your content above and beyond what's already there, and really just joining anything that they can. I'd highly encourage that too. And, LCA is just such a wonderful, group and family and organization, if you will, just to really foster those relationships and always just learning and growing from the best and brightest, as you are, my friend. But any other closing thoughts or anything like that? I am looking. You're hitting every cylinder, my friend. There is no questions right now. So
easy. Or I suck and everyone just tune out. That's easy.
No way. That is not it whatsoever. I can vouch for that 100%. This has been incredible, man.
So, of course, if you're watching now and you just want to connect, awesome. You're watching later and you have a question on something or a clarification or want to go deeper, please just reach out on Instagram. It's at Zachary Loft. I think it's at Zachary.loft because someone stole it. I'm still trying to get that account. But
come on.
Yeah, because I was Zachary.Faust.loft, but I was at Zachary Loft on TikTok. So there are like 18 bot accounts on TikTok or Instagram, I should say, by the time I tried to change it. So yeah, but connect with me on there. DM me questions, link ups. I do travel for coaching for teams. I'm going to Virginia Beach, Boston, and San Diego in the next month and a half. I love doing that. I do virtual or in person. If you provide tacos, I'll fly out. I'll be there. So 100%. The San Diego option was beautiful.
Awesome.
I will be at the meetup in San Diego as well. Kind of tag team in that. So I get a class training, I get to golf at Torrey Pines, and I get to be at an event. So it's just going to be an overall great trip. And my wife's going. So it's just going to be best trip of the year.
That's like four positive. It's like a win-win-win-win, man.
Can't beat it. So, but yeah, let's just connect. I love bringing value back. If you want to get into coaching courses, awesome. But regardless, let's just connect.
I love it, man. And seriously, keep us all posted at LCA when your book launches. I know that thing is just going to smash. I'll be one of the first people to buy that myself. So I cannot wait for that, my friend. But hey, Zach, it's been an honor and a pleasure, my friend. You absolutely crushed this one. I know that so many people are just going to take so much away from this and implement it. And again, they've got a resource, they've got a game plan. They can reach out to you directly. I'd highly encourage everybody. But yeah, thanks again so much for your time, my friend. I appreciate it.
My guy. I'll stick around afterwards.
This is great. Everybody, thank you so much. As always, LCA, we love you all. We appreciate your time and attention at this particular webinar, and stay tuned. We always got great content coming your way. So we'll see you all in the next live webinar through LCA. You take care. Have a great day. See you, Zach.